At exactly 2:17 a.m., I heard my husband whisper another woman's name in our kitchen. And in that moment, I realized the problem in my marriage wasn't that I was too sensitive, too quiet, or too weak. It was that everyone around me had spent years teaching me not to trust my own eyes and ears. That night didn't just change my relationship, it cracked open everything I thought I knew about loyalty, family, and how far people will go when they think you're easy to erase. My name is Claire, and for most of my life I was the woman people underestimated without even trying. The quiet one, the reasonable one, the one who didn't cause scenes. I married Ryan because he felt safe, familiar, grounded. We met in our late 20s, built a simple life in a small suburban town where neighbors waved and routines mattered. For a long time it worked, or at least I thought it did. Then came the nights. Ryan started getting out of bed after midnight, always careful, always slow, like he didn't want to wake me. At first I thought it was insomnia, maybe stress, maybe work. You don't jump to suspicion when you love someone. You start with excuses. But when it happened every night at the same hour, something in my body noticed before my mind did. I'd lie there staring at the ceiling, listening to the soft creak of the floorboards, the fridge opening downstairs, then silence. Not the normal kind. The waiting kind. When I finally asked him, he laughed. Not kindly. More like he was tired of me already. He said I was imagining things, that I needed to relax, that I was turning nothing into drama. One night, after I pressed just a little harder, he snapped and said, "If you weren't so boring, maybe I wouldn't need space." That one landed hard. He said it like a fact, not an insult. Like he'd already decided who I was. I stopped asking after that. Around the same time, my cousin Natalie started coming by more often. She'd always been loud, charming, the kind of person who filled a room. Everyone loved her. She'd sit at my kitchen counter scrolling on her phone, asking casual questions about Ryan's schedule, his work stress, how we were doing. When I mentioned the late nights, she tilted her head and smiled softly, telling me not to read into it. "Men are weird," she said. "You don't want to push him away by acting insecure." That word again, insecure. Weeks passed, then months. Ryan became colder, sharper with his words. He guarded his phone like it held state secrets, changed his passcode, took calls outside. And every time I felt that familiar ache in my chest, I told myself I was overreacting. Because that's what you do when everyone around you keeps saying you are. Until the night I followed him. I remember standing at the top of the stairs barefoot, heart pounding so loud I was sure he'd hear it. The kitchen light was on, casting this warm glow that felt wrong at that hour. I heard his voice low and gentle, nothing like the clipped tone he used with me lately. He was laughing. Laughing. I took one more step, then froze. A woman laughed back through the phone speaker. Familiar. Too familiar. My stomach dropped before my brain caught up. When she said, "Is she asleep?" my hands started shaking. I leaned against the wall to keep from falling. And then I knew. It was Natalie. I didn't storm in. I didn't scream. I stood there silent, listening to my husband and my cousin talk about me like I wasn't even real. He said I was tired all the time, that I didn't notice things anymore. She told him I'd always been fragile, that I wouldn't fight back. They sounded so sure. When Ryan turned and saw me, his face went blank. Not guilty, not ashamed, just calculating. He hung up and told me I misunderstood, that it was a work call, that Natalie was helping him plan a surprise. He spoke slowly, carefully, like you talk to a child who's about to cry. Natalie backed him up the next morning, eyes wide with concern, saying she'd never betray me, that stress can make people hear things that aren't there. For a moment, I almost believed them. Then I found the second phone. It was hidden behind a cereal box in the pantry. A cheap burner phone vibrating with notifications. I opened it with shaking hands. Messages, voice notes, dozens of them. Plans. Jokes about how easy it was to keep me confused. Discussions about money Ryan had moved into accounts under my name. Natalie coaching him on how to make me doubt myself if I ever confronted him. "She won't push," Natalie said in one recording. "She hates conflict." That broke something in me, but it also lit something up. I didn't confront them right away. I gathered evidence, screenshots, recordings. I contacted a lawyer quietly. I spoke to Ryan's business partner, who confirmed money had been disappearing for months. My name was on the paperwork. I wasn't just being cheated on, I was being set up. When Ryan finally tried to push me out, telling me I needed space, suggesting I stay with Natalie for a while to clear my head, I agreed. I played the part they expected. Quiet, confused, compliant. Natalie smiled like she'd already won. That lasted 3 days. On the 4th night, I went home. It was past 2:00 a.m. The kitchen light was on again, and there they were. Ryan at the counter. Natalie, barefoot, wearing one of his shirts, acting like she belonged there. She didn't look surprised when she saw me. She looked annoyed, like I'd shown up late to something I wasn't invited to. Ryan tried to talk. Natalie laughed. I laid everything out on the counter. The phone, the recordings, the financial records. The silence that followed was heavy. Ryan went pale. Natalie scoffed until she heard her own voice playing back through the speaker mocking me. That's when the mask slipped. She told me the truth not because she had to, but because she wanted to. She said Ryan was hers first, that she'd introduced us knowing he'd choose me because I was safe, controllable. She wanted to watch me fail, wanted him to come running back when I broke. She said it like it was a game she'd almost finished. Almost. The police arrived shortly after. Ryan didn't fight. Natalie screamed. Both were arrested. Fraud, conspiracy, identity theft. The neighbors watched from their windows, and for once I didn't care. Months later, my life looks nothing like it used to. The house is quiet. The money is being sorted. The truth is out. People who once told me I was dramatic now tell me they never saw it coming. That's the thing about being underestimated. People don't notice you until you stop playing the role they assigned you. So let me ask you this. When everyone around you tells you you're imagining things, when the world insists you're too sensitive, too emotional, too much, who benefits from you staying quiet? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know where you stand on trust manipulation and the stories we're taught to ignore. And if you've ever been the person no one believed stay here, you're not alone.